Good morning, Mountains. We are live here in Warfield, Kentucky. JJ Pruitt and Darryl McCoy here on the Startup Morning Show. Guys, this is always a Monday, and it stays true to its truest word, JJ. Always on Monday mornings, I'm always frustrated because I know that I loan my equipment out during the weekend, and things never work the same when they return as they do when I send them out.
Well, I had nothing to do with it, so I'm not gonna comment on that. But hopefully, everything is still good enough for the games this week.
I hope so, because it's football Friday nights from here on out, and I am excited as we're getting started. We're going to talk about some football games over the weekend, but first off, today is August the 12th. JJ, get us started. What is going on August 12th through history?
In 1676, Metacom, also called King Philip, intertribal chief of the Wampanoag, was killed, ending the conflict between Native Americans and English settlers known as King Philip's War.
And I'm just about 100% that you did not say that right.
I think that I was pretty close. But
it's not Wampanoag. It's let me see how it's spelled. Where is that? Where you at here?
Right here.
I don't think that's how it's spelled.
W-A-M.
I've heard of the word, but I don't think it's
A-G. Wampanoag.
Somebody sound that out for us, but I'm pretty sure it's not right because I've heard of that.
Yeah.
But I remember in history, but I do not remember Wampanoag tribe.
It does. It sounds kind of Native Americanish.
Yeah.
Hopefully I was somewhat accurate.
All right.
So we're gonna go with in 1961. East Germany began construction of the Berlin Wall, which served as a symbol of the Cold War, separating East Berlin from the West Berlin until 1989.
Yes, and if you remember, we spoke about this earlier in the Startup Show's career whenever I was telling you about David Hasselhoff was one of the singers that was there the day that the Berlin Wall fell. And that's one of the most notable things about the Berlin Wall was David Hasselhoff being there when it was tore down.
Baywatch?
Yeah.
Knight Rider.
Well, he was a singer. Yeah. A lot of people don't know David Hasselhoff was a huge singer overseas.
Was he really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, I knew he did it all, but I didn't know he was.
Yes, he was.
As well.
Google it and tell me I'm wrong.
Well, I'm definitely going to check it out after the show. And I got one last piece of history, this was a fun one. In 1990. The most complete and best preserved skeleton of a Tyrannosaurus Rex was found on South Dakota's Cheyenne River Reservation, and it was nicknamed Sue after Susan Hendrickson, the paleontologist who discovered the dinosaur fossil.
Okay.
So yeah, that's wow, and that's a really
well, JJ. Normally, I leave this to you.
Okay.
But I got some really good this day in histories.
You always end up finding one that I wasn't able to find. So what did you find?
All right, here we go. So on this day, let me get my notes so I can make sure that I get this right for you. Okay, this day in history. In 1981, we'll start with in 1981, IBM introduced the first personal computer, which was the Model 5150. A lot of people may remember this because this was the ones that was in your classrooms whenever you first started school. If you're my age, this was the computer that was in the classroom. You had the floppy disk that had like the Oregon Trail and games like that on it that they would put you on there. And that's how they introduced you as a kid, was you was playing them little games on the computer. And that's how they introduced you to computers.
Yeah, I remember those computers as well. I mean, I'm up there also in age, but the floppy disks, the amount of space that they had, I think was like 24 megabytes, which would be the equivalent of maybe one picture if we're lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in 1985, the world's worst single aircraft disaster, it was the Boeing 747, which ended up crashing onto the top of a mountain in Japan, killed 520 people. Only 4 survivors in this plane crash. And when you look at the picture of how somebody survived that.
That is by the grace of God.
Yeah.
That is for 500 people.
540 people died, 4 survivors.
That is insane. I didn't even know they made planes that large.
That
could fit that many people.
Oh, huh?
500 people on a plane?
Yeah.
Every plane I've been on may seat 100 people, 150 at the most. 500, that's a lot of people for a plane. Yeah.
Huge news. And it don't stop there. I still got one more for you, JJ.
Okay.
Do you remember this picture?
That looks like, if I had to guess,
So on August 12th, 2017, a driver sped into a crowd of people peacefully protesting a white nationalist rally in Charlottesville, Virginia.
Oh, that was today?
Virginia college town of Charlottesville, killing 32-year-old Heather Heyer and injuring more than a dozen others. The attacker, James Alex Field, was sentenced to life in prison, 29 federal hate crime charges, and life plus 419 years on state charges. So he'll never be getting out.
That was just a sad day in general.
Yep.
That was a sad day in history.
So, JJ, that takes us through this day in history. What birthdays do we got today?
Okay, so the first birthday that we have is Casey Affleck, which is Ben Affleck's younger brother. Actually, he's an Oscar winner, too. So we've got that one. We've got Michael Ian Black. We've got Pete Sampras, which was a really good tennis player. I believe that he won 14 Grand Slam titles.
Him and Andre Agassi always had their wars back in the 90s and 2000s, early 2000s.
Absolutely. And last but not least, do you by any chance know Sir Mix-a-Lot?
I know Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Yeah. It's his birthday today as well.
Yeah, the baby got back. Mm-hmm. The Zach Otis on our Facebook birthday. Zach Otis is former Bath County Wildcat. He was a superstar for him there a couple of years ago. It's his birthday today. Happy birthday, Zach. Also, let's see, Chris Trusty. Happy birthday to him. Sadie Ellswick. Big shout out to her. And Kristen Case, Jamie Case's older sister. So that is pretty much all the Facebook birthdays that I got. So slow day on the birthday Facebooks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
maybe tomorrow.
Yeah. We'll hit them back tomorrow, guys. Let us know how you're doing this morning. It is 9:18, guys. At 8:30, we will have recruiting analyst Kevin Moses on, and then at 9:15 or 8:30, we'll have Kevin Moses on. Then at 9:15, we got Betsy Lane's Weston Harris. But listen, you don't want to miss today. I promise you, this is going to be one of the best shows we ever got because we got a ton of topics we got to talk about. Come right back and join us here on the Startup Morning Show. Pizza and pasta around. Stop by Conley Brothers Giovanni's in Prestonsburg, Kentucky. Right now, Conley Brothers Giovanni's now has a new drive-thru for your convenience. Great deals, great service. Conley Brothers Giovanni's, proud supporter of all mountain athletes. Winning tire shop that focuses on customer service that's family owned and family operated. Stop by and see our friends Jeremy and Chasta at Punk's Tires. If you have a hectic work schedule and you're looking for a non-stressful, convenient way to buy tires, take advantage of Punk's Tires appointment Saturdays. If they don't have the tire you're looking for, they guarantee it to have it the next day. Punk's Tires can take care of all your needs in tires, wheels, wheel alignments, brakes, rotors, minor mechanic work, and more. They'll treat you like family from the second you walk through the door. Come see us in Virgie, Kentucky, or give us a call at 606-639-TIRE. That's 606-639-TIRE. And we are back here on the Startup Morning Show. JJ Pruitt and Darryl McCoy here. JJ, we got a lot to talk about, but first let's get to some of the comments coming in. We got Carl Whitey Little says, good morning, guys. Opal Eversol, Mike Perry both tuning in. Mike, good to see you on here, as well as Opal and Whitey. Make sure you guys, I tell you what, it is Monday. We're going to give away $50 code hard cash to somebody that shares today's show. So if you go share today's show, at the end of the day, you make sure that you share the show, and then you put in the comment section a number that nobody else has picked. And then at the end of the show, we will pick that number, and somebody will win $50 today.
I think that sounds like a really good idea.
Yeah, let's do it. Motivation Monday. Motivation to continue to spread the word about the Startup Morning Show. JJ, have you ever heard of a hot mic?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Well, for you guys that's not in the media industry, a hot mic is whenever you're on commercial break, or if, say, it's during halftime and you think you got your mics turned off and you don't, and people can hear you talking through the mic. That's called a hot mic in the business. So it's something, it's Media 101. You're always taught whenever you learn about media, and when you're in taking media classes, the first thing they teach you is treat every mic as it's a hot mic. So if you're around a mic, you be careful what you say. If you don't want something said or to go across the air that you're saying, then you might want to move away from the mics, or you might want to find some other source. But if there's a mic around, be careful, because it could be a hot mic. Well, a local media company found that out the hard way yesterday. I don't know if it has got around, but I think by the end of the day today, that everybody in the mountains will hear the voice of one of the local media commentators. And it wasn't nice, the things he was saying about the Paintsville Tigers and McGoffin County Hornets.
Was it really that bad?
It was really that bad. I contemplated, I like the people at this media company, so I didn't want to put it out there. You know, like if you want to find it, you can go find it. You can find where it said. You know, a lot of Paintsville people are really upset. I'm sure they got it at their disposal, but I personally didn't think it was our business to put out there. The video, mainly because of the language that was used in it.
Yeah.
But it was a local commentator that a few years ago, and this is accusation, so I don't know whether it's who they're saying it is a local commentator that went viral because of something that he said during a broadcast before, and then he gets caught with a hot mic. It's just something that you got to learn, and that's what happens when you put people in media that's not used to being in media. That you learn stuff the hard way sometimes. And I'm sitting here acting like I'm not innocent. For instance, first time I worked with JJ at the OPB Swish game, we was coming back from commercial break, and I was frustrated. Like the cameras wasn't working. I mean, like I was having to sit there and work like tirelessly between breaks. People don't understand. They think you just turn a computer on and voila, there everything is. They don't understand you got hours of setup. Then you got to make sure everything's working right, and hours of tear down. So, and in between commercial breaks, you're normally working tirelessly just to fix the little things that's going wrong that people don't know is going wrong, to make sure it's a good broadcast. And JJ brought us back from commercial break without telling me, and I said a cuss word, and so sometimes stuff, like that, it happens, but this here, what was said on the hot mic was definitely something that I would never say about a mountain team. First of all, they're kids, so, and I take a lot of pride in our mountain kids. Yeah. So I would never use them words to describe the kids, but it's something I'm sure And it's something. Listen, at the end of the day, remember that whenever before people criticize this guy, remember that he's human. And stuff happens, and he didn't go to school for this, so he was thrown in. Probably I understand that we look for people all the time to work games and stuff like that. That's not trained professionals. So I understand media companies hiring people that don't have a background, because especially in media here in the mountains, it's not something that a lot of people go to work for or go to college for.
Absolutely.
So I understand both sides of it. So please remember that whenever you're doing this, that he is human. I mean, listen, if I was the guy, I'd come out, make a public apology, and hope everybody forgives you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, say I'm sorry for what I said. I mean, I meant it, but I said it, and I regret it.
Yeah. If you do that, then listen, you're good with me.
Absolutely.
So Sam Collier says, give me a number 30. Said only because Stephen Curry's performance for Team USA. Said so proud of bring this to use. Great job, Opal Eversole says. Appreciate you, Opal Eversole. She says number 3. We got Mike Perry. We got Sam Collier, all spreading the word and putting numbers. So we'll enter you in the contest at the end of the show. We will do the drawing, so stick around. But let's move on. JJ, I don't want to go to the Olympics yet, because we got a lot to talk about the Olympics.
Absolutely. And I can't wait either. I mean, it was a phenomenal weekend, and the United States definitely made their country proud.
Well, I've been severely frustrated with the Olympics and some of the stuff that's going on, but I was happy to see the way that it ended. But for the people that don't know, Owsley County hires their new head coach, JJ. The Owsley County hires, let me make sure, Owsley County hires Tyson Gross. He is a former Owsley County Owl, was part of the last Owsley County team to go to Rep Arena. So bringing an alum in that can definitely help the Owls, as the Owls, they took one on the chin this offseason as they lost Andrew Terry and Addison Terry. So their boys and girls basketball program, 2 of the players that was supposed to help lead the Owls to the next generation of great Owls, left and went to Montgomery County and joined Jason Mays up there. And I think Neil Terry, Andrew Terry, both their dads got a coaching job on the staff. So this was a breath of fresh air for the folks in Owsley County.
So which region is Owsley County in?
They're in the 14th.
Oh, the 14th? Okay.
Yeah. So hopefully everything goes well for the Owls and Coach Gross. Hopefully he works out. I'm very excited to see how things work there in Owsley County and get to meet Coach Gross and work with him and see what kind of guy he is, because I don't know him.
Absolutely.
So, guys, as we're sitting here, also want to bring up, don't know if you guys at home got to see, but JJ, President Trump come out and said that basically he said that his emails was hacked, and that it shouldn't, at the end of the day, his emails was hacked, and don't hold him accountable for any emails that got spread out there that could hurt national security.
I mean,
and he's blaming the Iranians for doing it.
I mean, if he has credible evidence that they did it, I mean, but at the end of the day, I mean, nothing is safe on the computer. I mean,
well, and listen, it could have happened.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it did happen, but I'm saying that it's probably a convenient excuse.
Yeah, it's good to always have somebody to throw under the bus.
Yeah, but Iranians are saying they didn't have anything to do with it. Of course they wouldn't if they did have. But, here's the thing. You see friends and family members every day get hacked. So it's believable. Mm-hmm. But it's also believable that he just sent it to somebody that could affect national security.
Absolutely.
So I could see both sides. I'm not, listen, a lot of people say, Trump supporters are not realistic. He does nothing wrong. I'm not going to sit here and say this man does nothing wrong, because I think he does plenty wrong. But I think he's the lesser of two evils, and I think he's the fresh air that we need, and I think he's the guy that will get America going in the right direction, JJ.
Yeah, and I think that there's a good chance he's probably going to win too.
Yeah. So, I'm hoping he does, JJ. But things are starting to get really close. If you've looked at the last few polls, Kamala Harris is definitely she's starting to come on a little bit on Trump, and right now in some polls she is leading, JJ.
Well, the only polls that I pay attention to are Las Vegas polls because they never seem to get anything wrong, and as of right now she is a favorite to win it.
Yeah,
she's negative 103 and Trump is plus 115.
So you see, that's what I'm saying. I mean, this is not a shoe-in, so people needs to get out and vote. If you're a Trump supporter, get out and vote. That brings us to another topic we'll talk about another day, is about the Electoral College. Does your vote really matter?
Yeah.
But
personally, I'm not a fan of the Electoral College.
I hate it.
I don't think it makes any sense.
No, it don't. And you would get a lot of people voting, more people voting, if you had, if they knew their vote counted.
Yeah, because it's like, how much does your vote really matter? Let's say, for example, let's say you are a Kamala Harris supporter and you live in West Virginia. Trump has like a 90% of the votes for him in West Virginia, so it's not like your vote's really going to matter.
No.
And then if and then even then we only get about 5 or 6 electoral votes in the state of West Virginia. So it's like, I'm always going to be a fan of the popular vote. I think that more people would get out and vote, and I think it would just make things better.
I do too. I wish it would be that way. I hate the Electoral College. It makes people feel like their vote don't count, and I see why they don't get out and vote. At the end of the day, well, Joe Biden sat down yesterday with, I think it was CBS, sat down yesterday. He also, in the last couple of days, have done lengthy interviews with Lester Holt of NBC, and also Gary Stolopoulos with ABC. He's done lengthy interviews with them. And Biden also, he basically said Trump is a danger to America's national security, and telling people not to vote for him. And he went on to talk about why he stepped down. He said the reason he stepped down wasn't his health or anything. He said it was basically the Democratic Party asked him to step down because they didn't think he could beat Trump. And he said that, he's a Democrat at heart, so he's going to do what's best for the Democratic Party, and that's why he stepped down. But, here's my thing. If you're Joe Biden and Joe Biden's people, and you've seen the way this man has handled the last few press conferences and debates, why are you going to let this man sit down for an hour interview and put him on blast like that, knowing that, his state of mind ain't where it needs to be?
Yeah. I mean, don't do that guy like that. I mean, he's what, 82, 83, something?
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it just shows that it shows our country's weak.
Yeah.
So it's a very tough situation, when you sit there and you put our nation's leader, in a situation where he's going to look weak. It makes our country look weak. And, even though I'm not a Biden supporter, I don't believe in putting that man, out there like that. At the end of the day, I feel sorry for Biden. I think he was a figurehead that they thought and that could beat Trump, and they put him up there to represent the Democratic Party, and he ended up winning. And
but behind closed doors, they're the ones that are making all the decisions.
Yeah,
he's just
that's what I'm saying. So now this man is getting put on blast for everything that he does. I do. I have some kind of sympathy for Joe Biden. I'm not a Joe Biden supporter by any means, but I do got sympathy for the man.
Yeah, absolutely.
By the way, guys, this segment brought to you courtesy of Bruce Walters Ford. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to go into the Olympics. If Coach Moses ain't with us by then, we will go into the Olympics. And I promise you, we got a load to talk about, hot topics coming. We also got some great stories that you're not going to believe coming ahead. Also, Weston Harris at 9:15. But before then, we're going to take a word from our sponsors. We'll be right back here on the Startup Morning Show.
Wear a lot of hats. There are coaches, volunteers, church members, neighbors, someone who's there when you need them, especially when you need them most. That may be a lot of hats, but they're all the perfect fit. Kentucky Farm Bureau, big on commitment.
In America, what does that mean? It means jobs. It means craftsmanship. And when it comes to Vaughan Bassett furniture, it means value. And Kemper recognizes that. That's why they've dedicated an entire gallery to Vaughan Bassett. Made in America. See the quality. And now, see the price. Come see your favorite Kemper store in Hazard, London, or Somerset.
And we are back here on the Startup Morning Show. Darryl McCoy and JJ Pruitt. This segment brought to you courtesy of Puck's Tires, our friends at Virgie. Guys, if you're looking for tires, if you're looking for a good place to buy tires, somebody that knows tires, somebody that will get your car road ready, make sure you go see Jeremy Pinson and our friends at Puck's Tires.
That man knows tires.
He does. And definitely a big shout out to the Puck's Tires crew, as they're all our favorites. You know, they're on Virgie. You know, Jeremy and Chasta does a great job every single year or every single day of making sure that people gets the best deals on tires. And, you know, big shout out to them. So I guess JJ has nothing to say about them. So so Eiffel Tower. The Olympics ended with the Eiffel Tower as a guy tried climbing the Eiffel Tower, and luckily the Eiffel Tower wasn't part of the Olympic ceremony.
Wow. Yeah, that's. I definitely wouldn't do that. Like, as you know, like you saw me try to walk across the bridge or try to.
Try to go to the lookout. JJ is scared of heights. That's one thing for sure.
Yeah,
so
there's no way in the world I could do something like that. I mean, and what is he? What's the purpose for that? I mean, that you're protesting, or what are you trying to?
I think he just I think it was a guy just wanting to show off his climbing skills.
I mean, I wouldn't take any chances.
Yeah. But let's get to the Olympics. That was the good part. As Amani Khalif, she ends up says that she's going to go after cyberbullying. You know, and she said that they didn't name any plaintiffs in their case, but they said Elon Musk was one of the ones that did. So they, as we're sitting here, I don't know. Amani Khalif is going to have to, this girl is going to face a lot of scrutiny moving forward, and at the end of the day, she's got high levels of testosterone, so she's always going to do it. So I know she's always going to do it. So I don't know at the end of the day what the situation is here, but Amani Khalif, I hate this situation for her, but if I was her, I would probably just go into hiding, for the next few or next couple of years, and because this is just bringing attention to it, and it's going to cause more bullying. But I also think that if her lawyer can prove a good case, she might be able to get a big lawsuit from this, because one of the guys that they didn't name in the case as one of the people that they was suing, but they said Elon Musk was one of the main ones they was going after.
And I think that she has a valid case too. And you know, whenever we were first reporting it, we were going off of the information that we found as well.
Yeah.
And everybody at first was saying that she was a transgender. And then it, you know, turns out a couple of days later that we discovered that, you know, she just so happens to have an extra chromosome that, you know, one in every so many thousand cases of people actually have. And she just has a really high level of testosterone. But however, I mean, I really think that she does have a valid case. I mean, you know, if people are going around saying that she's something that she isn't, then she should definitely be able to sue and probably win as well.
Should be able to, but you know, at the end of the day, I feel sorry for the young lady. She won't go medal, you know, and you know, but if I was her, I mean, if it's really affecting you that much mentally, I would probably just not pursue it anymore, because at the end of the day, if you show people that it's bothering you, they're going to come at you that much harder.
But I bet, but at the same time, what's the term, slander?
Yeah,
I mean, they are slandering her name and they are saying things about her that aren't true. So, I mean, I probably would go after them if I was in that situation.
well, I don't know about. I mean, I guess we disagree on that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the end of the day, you know, I say, you know, just leave it alone. And you know, she knows at the end of the day she has an extremely high level. You know, people told Michael Phelps that he also he was built different, and he had some, I guess, feminine. It was in a structure, his bone structure,
His
and
torso.
yeah, and it helped him.
Mhm.
So at the end of the day, you know, like he had to face that scrutiny too, but you know, he didn't go and sue everybody, you know, that mentioned it. You know, he just let it go, and guess what? People quit talking about it.
Well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
LeBron James, MVP. That is not LeBron James. LeBron James, MVP of the Olympic team. You know, Olympic team won gold medal with a huge win over France. You know, I don't know if you got to catch the end of it, but when they announced Joel Embiid's name, the crowd went crazy booing him, and you know, and he loved it. The whole U.S. team loved it, but they ended up, and a lot of people are saying, I've seen a lot of people say this is the best team ever
I mean,
created.
We've had a lot of good teams. I mean, a lot of people think that the dream team is the best, and I would say when it comes to the dream team, if Larry Bird and Magic Johnson would have still been in their primes, yeah, that team would have been unbeatable. But if there's one team that's actually overlooked, I think it's the 1996 Olympic team. You know, they had, I believe, Hakeem Olajuwon. They had Shaq on that team. You know, I think that they had Penny Hardaway as well. I think they had Reggie Miller. They had Scottie Pippen. That was a really tough team.
That was an extremely tough.
And I think Gary Payton was on the team as well.
Yeah, Gary Payton was on that team. But, you know, at the end of the day, I think people are ludicrous whenever they say that this team is the best team ever, because I promise you, the dream team would probably run and clock these
Well,
dudes.
I would say the 2008 Redeem team. And if you look at the starting five, okay, let's say Steph Curry and Jason Kidd. I mean, Jason Kidd's probably third all-time in steals.
Yeah.
So he would have been a solid matchup for him. I would say, you know, Kobe Bryant. Then who would be the shooting guard that he would be matched up against? Would it be was it Devin Booker?
Yeah.
Okay, Kobe and Devin Booker. That's no contest. And then down low, you got Dwight Howard, a prime Dwight Howard, 2008 against Joel Embiid. Maybe that'd be a tough matchup.
Yeah, that'd be a tough matchup. But
and then you got old LeBron versus prime LeBron. I mean, yeah, that 2008 team. I don't think they could beat this, or I don't think this team could beat the 2008 team.
Well, we're going to talk a lot more about the Olympics, but as he just come on and joined us, we want to go ahead and get his interview going, because we got Weston Harris coming on at 9:15. So we want a minute to talk to this man, Coach Kevin Moses. Without further ado, good morning, Coach.
Good morning. How y'all doing?
We're doing really good. It's a Monday here on the Startup Show.
It's a Monday here in Columbia too.
But I tell you what, it's a Monday, and we're trying to motivate people to have a good day. So we're giving away $50 to somebody that shares today's show, and they've got to comment a number in the comment section. So if you're looking to win $50, share the show, comment a number in the comment section. At the end of the show, we will give away $50 code hard cash. Coach Moses, guys, for you guys that don't know Coach Kevin Moses, he is a national recruiting analyst. He goes around the nation watching high school hoopers. Well, not just hoopers, football players, baseball players, high school athletes, and he works for certain colleges, and he goes and he basically is a median for the colleges and the athletes, and he tries to help kids get scholarships. Coach, tell you might be able to describe yourself a little bit better. Tell people how you would describe your job.
I love finding talent. I'm a national scout, as you said, and I also am real big about exposure and promoting those kids. It gets them on the radar so the coaches know what they're looking at, because we know what they're looking for. And I'm kind of the bridge of the gap to open those doors for the kids and the coaches and connect them. And then I do live recruiting for colleges on every division level all over the world.
Well, that and JJ, I know I always take your questions, so I'm going to let you get to Coach Moses first.
Coach Moses, it's a pleasure to meet you. I would say my first question to you would be, since you cover a variety of sports, which one do you find the most challenging to cover whenever you're going through the recruiting process and things like that?
The toughest one to me would be wrestling, because I don't understand it. I don't know how to
So you cover wrestling as well?
I cover it all. I just don't understand the point system real well yet, but I'll get there.
Yeah. Well,
I'm sorry.
Soccer's mine, Coach. I just soccer I cannot get the hang of, and I'll be the first to tell you. The only time I was ever a soccer fan is back in the mid '90s. Team USA, they had they had a men's team, and they had a guy that had long red hair. I think his name was Alexis Wallace, maybe, or something like that. That was the only time. But soccer, I do not get it, and a lot of people says they enjoy it, but I don't understand it, Coach.
It's a whole lot of running, and the rules are interesting, but they're not too bad, except for the offsides, because sometimes I don't get that, because they look like they're in the perfect position. They'll call them offside, and I'm going,
yeah,
don't get that one. I get it.
Well, let's get to why people in the mountains, here know you. Here on D&D, we have the Kevin Moses Corner. I met you because of a couple kids that you had started recruiting before you had took and come on as a part of D&D. What brought you? You are from Tennessee, and I know you're national. You go to Oregon, Washington. You got kids in probably 80% states in America, if not every state. But it seems like you put a strong focus on West Virginia, Kentucky, and Tennessee. What brought you to the mountains, and why do you have such a passion for mountain athletes whenever you're not from this area?
And I also have to say Texas. Texas is really big for me too. Well, there were a couple of kids over there from your area that I connected with that opened up the whole state of Kentucky for me, just like it was in West Virginia. All I ever have to do is connect with one or two kids in any area, and they let me know that there's talent there that I didn't know, because I didn't know those kids before we connected, and I started doing what I did as far as the promoting and the recruiting and all of that. And so that would be Tyson Lamone and Xander Carter. Those were probably the first two I connected with out of East Tennessee. And then there was Braden, I think that's his name, Braxton. So anyway, so when I did, and I found out, oh my goodness, there is real talent in Eastern Kentucky. And it's the same way with any kind of small area where you don't see a lot of exposure, a lot of coverage of the kids. And that's why it's so big in West Virginia, Kentucky, and Tennessee. We're really under-recruited. We're really undervalued. and underviewed for the talent that we have that is incredible. Texas, on the other hand, they got a whole lot of talent. And so everybody knows a lot about them, but except for there's so many of them that there are a lot that are overlooked and they kind of slide under the radar. So it started, with the ability to do that, except for with Xander. Everybody knows Xander Carter. But at the same time, I mean, it's like finding these gems, these diamonds in the rough that nobody's heard a lot about in the mountain area. We'll focus on y'all. And it's just like, wow, how do you not know how good the talent is in these mountains? And it's like, so it's my passion. I started this for underrated, overlooked kids and a kid that had injuries or whatever. So that's my wheelhouse. So I jumped right in, head first. Let's get Eastern Kentucky on the map. Let's get West Virginia on the map. Yep. Let's get these Tennessee kids, especially East Tennessee, more than like the Memphis area, the Nashville area. East Tennessee is very overlooked. Now, Trey Thompson is going to change all that. But I mean, it's like, dude, it's so fun finding these talented kids, and everybody doesn't know them because it's kind of like, I found something you didn't know about. Here it is. Yeah. Look at this kid right here.
Well, as you go into that, and that's the, one thing that I always said, and, as Coach Moses, when I first met Coach Moses, he's been like family to us, like my family, wife, kids, they all love Coach Moses. He's, we've spent a lot of time together over the last few months. And, I always say, Coach, one of my favorite sayings is these mountains hide a lot of talent.
Yes, you have said that multiple times.
Yeah, and that's whenever you take and look at your time here in the mountains, that's what people don't understand. This man, he is stationed in Tennessee, but when he tells you he's going to come out and watch you, he comes out and watches you. And that's the thing that that means more to a kid than anybody ever knows. Whenever a scout says, "Hey, listen, I'm going to come out and watch you play," and he drives multiple hours or he flies to watch you play, then the confidence that it gives that kid, my son was the perfect example of it. Like Coach Moses showed up and it just gave him the confidence because he knew this scout is here to see me. And I see that in every gym at Coach Moses is that the kids love you, Coach. And whenever you go through the mountains here, you mentioned Xander Carter and Tyson Lalonde out of Ashland. Who are some of your other kids that you got here in the Coalfields?
Jacob Spurlock, Jackson King, Dalton Combs. I don't know. I got a bunch of them up there, but that's to name a few.
Yeah, you got Jacob Spurlock, Jackson King. Who was the other one you just said? Dalton Combs.
Yes.
Then you got Peyton Davis, Jackson Estridge, Parker Watts.
Yes.
I'm trying to think of some of the others that I know that you're connected with, and but those are probably your 7 or 8. Talk a little bit about a few of them and what makes them special.
Okay, we'll start with Parker Watts. Parker Watts, I call him Big Country, the human highlight reel. That was out of a conversation we had not long after I watched him play up at Bridgeport in West Virginia before he transferred to Kentucky. And we're really, really close. And I consider him like my little brother. We're really close. And so I watched that kid. He's so dynamic. And you look at his size and you look at him when he comes in the gym, and you're not really sure what you're going to get until he decides he wants to play. And oh my goodness, he can do some of the craftiest, some of the most athletic moves. He's a high flyer, can jump out the gym. And you've seen some of the dunks he can do. He's just a phenomenal kid on and off the court, because he's got a high character, high IQ, and he's just an amazing kid. Or talk about Jacob. Jacob is just a physical, savvy guard that can shoot the cover off the ball. Oh my goodness, Jacob! When I
probably the best pure shooter in the mountains.
When I first saw him, I couldn't believe it, and I was introduced to him by I can't remember the guy. I did a radio show for a guy up there in Kentucky, and he told me you need to get to know Jacob Spurlock. Oh, I do? He said, you don't know him? No, not really. But boy, when I did get to know him, it's like, oh my goodness, how did I not know him? And then like even to Davis. Davis is a tough, savvy guard that can get in the seams of the defense and just impose his will. I mean, it's just so many of them that they can do so many good things. And it's not just all scoring. You know, when I first had a glimpse of Kentucky, it's always about this prolific scores that come out of your state. And you always have a ton of them. Even in Eastern Kentucky, there are always a ton of prolific scores. But the kids can play defense and they can pass the ball well. And I mean, they have high IQs and they know how to play this game the right way. And so, but then you do have those prolific scores and you're just like, wow, it's a thing of beauty. It is awesome to watch, you know. So, you know, we could go on. And I guess if I had put together a list, I probably could run you down about 100 kids from up around here that are just phenomenal. They're just phenomenal, girls and boys.
Well, I'll go through them here for you. Dalton Combs, what makes him so special?
He's a dynamic, athletic stud that he is another one that can score at will, but I consider him like a blue-collar GM because he does so many other things besides just scoring. But you can't stop him from scoring, and he can score from pretty well anywhere on the court he wants to. But
he's the hidden kid in that class because, of course, Evan Eversole and Seth Collar gets all the recognition there. And I think he's come on. He's had such a good summer. People are starting to say now there's a trio in Hazard, not just a duo.
Oh, I don't know how they missed him. He's hard to overlook. And we were just at that Made Hoops event together where we watched him. Boy, he put on the show up there. It was just incredible to watch.
Jackson King.
Whew, he is a one-man wrecking crew as far as scoring goes. And then, again, savvy, tenacious defender. You are not getting around Jackson King. If you score, you will have to score over or through him because he's not giving you anything easy. And then he's not a selfish ball player. He loves passing, just like your boy Jackson. There are a lot alike, except for your boy will score everywhere. Jackson would rather shoot threes, but he can penetrate. He can penetrate, finish inside. But they are both the complete player. And so it's like
you're talking about Jackson Estridge,
right? Yes. And so they check every box, though Jackson is just can be a prolific scorer. And in his old school that he just transferred from, we both know he had to be the guy. So he carried all of the scoring load every single game, which means you draw a double team, a face guard, sometimes a triple team. Poor Jackson. I went and watched him play way out of the boonies somewhere over there in East Tennessee. And oh, my goodness. And it was like the whole defensive strategy was if we stop Jackson, we stop them. And it was like, dude, and he was still tough. He was still hard to stop. And I think he had 24 points that game, no matter what defense they put on him. And it was just him. So, I mean,
the thing about Jackson King that stands out to me is he's a kid that knows how to get to his spots. That's the thing that stands out about him. Now, you mentioned a little bit there, Jackson Estridge. What makes him so special?
Because he could be a 20 to 25 point scorer every night if he chose to. And he still scores and he leads his team, but he picks his IQ. Let's just say that, Darryl. His IQ separates him from the pack because he doesn't force anything. If Jackson takes a shot, it's going to be a good shot. And odds are he's going to hit it. And it doesn't really matter where he is. He can get in his spots as well. But he's always looking for the best shot. He makes game-winning plays. He doesn't just take shots. And it's like he thrives on defense as well. And we know that. He is the ultimate glue guy that can score.
That's the thing about that kid that I've noticed is that, at the end of the day, he's going to make game-winning plays on both ends of the floor. But the key thing is he makes every player around him better. I watched him at a camp the other day. One of his friends he was playing with started out not having a great shooting day, and he come down, passed up on 2 wide open layups to get his friend going, and then that kid went on to have a great camp. That's the kind of player that he is, teammate he is. So I think sky's the future for him at Belfry.
I agree. But he's growing, and its confidence is growing because he's now beginning to be able to showcase freely what he can do. And we both know that there was moments he didn't have that opportunity. And the more he is able, the more his confidence grows, and you see it translated on the floor in his play. Just like you said, he was at that Made Hoops thing, and he was the leading scorer, the leading rebounder, the leading assist guy, the leading steals guy. I mean, he did it all. And so it's carrying over, and you can see it in his confidence every time he's on the court because he's being able to flow in what his gifts are, what his talent is. And again, he always makes sure that everybody benefits and rewards from his ability to be himself.
Yep. Braxton Keithley.
So I just get so excited when I'm up in the Eastern Kentucky area or when I'm in West Virginia.
Did you hear me? Braxton Keithley.
Yes. Braxton, I guess I would have to say when I first saw him in the summer, I think it was, if not last summer, it was the summer before. And he was another long scoring machine. And it's like that dude, he can shoot the cover off the ball. However, he's gotten to where he's got the total package. He's always been solid defensively, but playing with Midwest, they're defensive minded completely. You will play great defense. So now he's matching and turning it all up to where he has become one of the most well-known names in Eastern Kentucky. He was always talented. He was always good. He was always a stud. But that boy is rounding out to being, I think he's going to be a high-level D1 talent when it's all said and done. He's really, really talented.
I agree with you, Coach. And we got about 5 more minutes here with you. I want to get with you. There's a ton I wanted to talk to you about, but hopefully we can have you on, sometime next week, maybe to talk a little more about what I was going to get into. But when you talk about, what's the most important things for kids that are trying to get to the next level? Whenever you see kids, whenever you go out and see them, and somebody, one thing that I've noticed lately is kids that lie. And it's always happened when it comes to height, and their parents or the coaches will put that a kid is 2-3 inches taller than what he really is. We always know the old rule is give a kid an inch. But whenever people putting 2 or 3 inches, and you go see a kid, how does that affect the kid? And just talk about what the important things are that kids should focus on when trying to get recruited.
Well, I kind of understand their thinking and their strategy when they do that, because the eye test is huge. Before the recruiting ever really gets off the ground good, you got to pass the coach's eye test.
Yeah.
And they like to think that you have to be a certain height to really get their attention, unless you have all these dynamic traits that cannot be ignored. They look straight at that height first, and then they look at your body. And you have to have the body to be able to handle the physical play on the next level. Because when they say bigger, stronger, faster, they're not kidding. And it is more physical. And you're not going to get a lot of easy open looks like you do in high school, because they are all high school phenoms. They're the best of the best from high school that get to college, right? So those kids are very gifted, just like you. And so they want to see this eye test. When they look at you, can you handle and compete on that level when they look at you? And so that's going to be why they kind of want to, fib just a little bit on the height or whatever. But it won't lie when they see you on the court. So my thing is intangibles. Intangibles. You have to be multi-talented. It can't be just one-dimensional. When I'm looking at a kid, I want to see everything that you can do, so that when I go to talk to a coach, because he's going to ask me, if you're a prolific scorer, what can he do for me if his shot is not falling?
Yep.
I got to be able to answer that. And you got to be able to show me, what can you do if your shots are not falling? Will you hang your head? Will your body language get bad? And body language kills offers a lot.
Yep.
Kids don't know that. Your body language will kill an offer in a minute. But then, can you get aggressive defensively on another level? Because you're supposed to always be aggressive. We know that. But can you take that to another level when your shots are not falling? Can you become a board hog and just wipe the glass clean when your shots are not falling? Can you turn up that defense to where you become that stud that the coach can say, I need you to stop that boy? And then for me, I don't necessarily look at volume shooting. As a matter of fact, if a volume shooter always leaves his team out to dry while he volume shoots, that turns me off. And I know many coaches, they don't like that. You might think they do, but they don't like that. And so efficient shooting, along with all these other intangibles and versatility, is what makes you a commodity for any coach. When you can do multiple things and do them well. If you shoot 8 for 10 and you're getting your points instead of shooting 30 times just to get points, it separates you from the pack. When you can do that and play great defense, it separates you from the pack. When you can do that and get rebounds, make assist, all that, then it's
that's what makes you a special coach. And I know JJ, we got about 2 minutes left here. I know JJ's got a question in the bank for you, so I'm gonna let him ask you before we got to go. So JJ, go ahead.
Who would you say is your most memorable recruit to this day? Like the one recruit that you're most proud of that you discovered that may not have possibly been discovered by somebody else. Do you have like one person that stands out to you?
Oh my goodness. That would likely be Grant Polk and I first connected 2.5 years ago. I went up to a tournament in Louisville, and he didn't have any stars at that time. And he was a monster player that checked all these boxes I'm telling you about. He was tall, so he's got the height. He's physical, so he had that intangible, but he was underrated and unknown. Even on the team he was on, he was kind of overlooked. And I called him the silent assassin because he doesn't talk a lot, y'all. He doesn't have a lot of mouth ever. And it's like even when we're on the sideline and you're talking, his dad will talk a lot, but Grandma just kind of smiled. He doesn't talk a lot, but he handles his business on the court. And I've watched that kid develop over the years. And now he's a 3-star. He picked up so many offers this summer. It's just mind blowing. And then like I put out a little image of him with his offers and him just being so excited as he's yelling, which is, wow, is that Grant? Is that the Grant I know? Because he's grown and developed from that shy, quiet guy that I call the silent assassin, that he knows he's a beast and he knows you can't stop him. And he's made quite a name for himself out there on the national circuit. And so he has 3 stars. A kid that nobody tried to give any love to made room for himself.
So a true underdog story.
Yeah, they now that reminds me of a lot of kids here in the mountains. The kids don't say much, but their dads are really loud.
Yeah, that's usually the case.
Coach, we appreciate you joining us here on this Monday morning, Coach. Next week, I want to bring you back on because I want to talk. I know you're very passionate about the state of basketball and some of the stuff that makes basketball good in today's world and stuff that makes it bad, some of the rules, stuff like that. I want to go in and let people really see your passion and have a little bit of fun with you. So next week, if you don't care, come back and join us. That way we can go a little bit more into recruiting and talk a little bit about basketball and have some fun. Sound good?
Absolutely. I would love to.
All right, guys. Kevin Moses, National Recruiting Analyst. Coach, good morning and have a good day.
You too. Thanks, fellas.
Thank you. Just an outstanding guy. What I love about Coach Moses is his passion. This man has no ties to the mountains, and he found a couple kids. Well, their parents turned them on to a couple more kids, and then it just spread like wildfire, and now he's probably got 30, 40 kids throughout the mountains that he works closely with and tries to help them get recruited. Shows up wherever they're at during the summer. I mean, what that man does is a true calling.
I like how detailed he is whenever he's describing the players and, what they're skilled at. He goes into really good detail about what he likes about them.
He is. Guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, I promise you we got a ton to talk about, and I'm excited about a couple videos we got coming in from the Olympics.
You got a couple videos?
Yeah. We'll be right back here on the D&D Sports Network.
Walters Kia. By now, you know Kia is a great vehicle, and you know they come with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. So why should you buy from Bruce Walters Kia? At Bruce Walters Kia, we're going to change your oil for free for life. And what you do with that money you save is up to you. Come check out the 2022 Kia Carnival and the 2021 Kia Sorento. Only at Bruce Walters Kia in Pikeville. Or shop us online at brucewalterskia.com.
Pass, bring them to Hall & Jones Funeral Home in Virgie, Kentucky. We let you grieve in peace instead of worrying about a heavy financial burden of burying a loved one. Here at Hall & Jones, we have multiple chapels that can accommodate any size family. We look forward to helping you and your family here at Hall & Jones. Back here on the Startup Morning Show, Darryl McCoy and JJ Pruitt. Guys, this is Motivation Monday as we're giving away $50 code hard cash, courtesy of our friends at Punk's Tires. Guys, $50 code hard cash to somebody that shares today's show, and you got to put a comment in the comment section. Now, we will go back and look and make sure you shared it. If you put a number and didn't share it, then you will not get the $50. But if you do, you will win $50 code hard cash possibility at the end of the show. This segment is sponsored by Justin Markham, attorney at law. If you're looking for a lawyer that can get you the judgment you deserve and the outcome you're looking for, call Markham Law Offices today. JJ, we got a ton of comments coming in. Let's get to them. We see. Opal Eversole says, so proud you bring this to us. Say, great job, guys. Dagan Rash just turned JJ's mic up. We did. Hopefully it's better. Matt Maynard says nobody's touching the dream team. Said this squad nearly got beat by Serbia. I agree 100%.
Got beat by a one-man band pretty much.
Yeah. And then they also got almost got beat by South Sudan.
Yeah.
Don't forget that. And let's see. Jimmy Johnson says Darryl is Ted Lasso's cousin. Now, I've not watched Ted Lasso. I've heard a lot of people talk about the show, but I've not watched it. I got to watch that show. That's on my list. He says, Jimmy Johnson says, did either of us see a video he sent? No, Jimmy, but I will go look and check it out. Make sure you send it to me personally, too. Lindsey Neal says Eastern Kentucky is coming for everything. Best kept secrets in the state that are making noise. Now, I agree 100%, and Elijah Neal is one of them. Kid is a stud. Jimmy Johnson says, great interview. Guys, as we're moving on here, the Olympics, a lot of good stuff coming out. We was talking about the dream team there, JJ, and I want to get back to them here in a second. But, congratulations to the Olympic team. Here is for the people that says, is this year's team better than the dream team? This is the NBA players that this year's team faced compared to the NBA players the dream team faced. So a total of 5 for the dream team. The NBA players they faced to a total of, let me drop this, 59 NBA players this year.
That's a huge difference.
But I still say players was tougher back then.
Yeah, what rules are we playing under? I mean, if we're playing under the rules in the 90s, and even if you do the matchups, I mean.
I seen a video today of LeBron, and this dude beating him up, and they're like, no way that LeBron could get around Jordan.
I mean, it's like Bam Adebayo. How is he going to do against Karl Malone? Scottie Pippen, he'll be able to guard Durant, but Durant's still going to get his buckets. But still, I mean, he was a really good defender.
Pippen was an elite defender.
Yeah. Jordan, elite defender.
Yeah.
And who's going to guard Jordan?
Yeah. I just do. I don't even see them coming close.
No.
Don't even coming close to the dream
Robinson,
team.
Patrick Ewing, they had just so many grown men on that team, and it'd be tough to guard them in the paint for sure.
It would. And as Jimmy Johnson says, I don't care who they face or care about the style of play. The dream team would destroy them under any rules. I agree with you, Jimmy.
And that 96 team, I still go back to that team. That team would give anybody problems.
This team here, as you said, they almost got beat by South Sudan.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, the MVP went to LeBron. And LeBron carried them through a couple of the earlier games. But Steph was kind of the leading factor there at the end. You know, I would have probably gave the MVP to Steph Curry.
Absolutely. And just what he did in that final, minute and a half of the gold medal game.
Now, JJ, let's get to something I didn't like coming out of the Olympics.
Okay.
Break dancing.
Come on now.
JJ.
You know that.
And then another and then another and then another
JJ, I see a thing that said that's the break dancer we thought we was going to get, and then we got the Temu version.
Give her a gold medal just for having the cojones to be able to get out there and do that.
No, do not give that lady a gold medal in any circumstance.
Hey, I applaud her for the level of courage that she showed to get out there.
Listen, I think, and I told you before they started this past weekend, before they started breakdancing, this was a horrible idea. The Olympic Committee would not listen to me. This was no way, no how should this have been in the Olympics. It was a joke, JJ. So I personally, I don't know. I think that at the end of the day, I really hope this is the last time we ever see this. Look, I mean, seriously. I mean, this come to find out, this girl is a teacher in hip hop over in another country, and you know, I feel sorry for the young lady because she's going to be a meme forever. But you know, when you talk breakdancing, I thought we was going to get that kind of breakdancing that we
Pop
sing.
locking,
Yeah,
like from the 80s.
yeah, I thought we was going to get that, but we didn't get anything close to that.
Now,
I mean, it didn't just stop with her, JJ. I mean, it got better.
Why is he wearing a do-rag?
I mean, come on, JJ. Honestly, the Australian girl made me feel like whenever I was a kid, I used to say, "Mom, watch this," and I would get down and I'd flop around and I'd try to spin around. That's exactly what she was. Like, I could have competed as a 12-year-old in this Olympics, probably won gold.
if it was back in the 80s, back when the was good and everybody was pop locking, and I would have liked to have seen a breakdancing competition in 1984.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing one today, but we didn't get to see one.
Yeah, well,
we got to see that.
If you'd have had the Jabberwockies out there from the 2000s, like the dance crew,
folks, let us know. Should breakdancing be in the Olympics? I know it was a hot topic at the end, and people said breakdancing will not be included in 2028. David Rex Cooks, he says. Well, listen, hats off to the IOC. They made one good decision.
I would just like to know what the winners look like. Like the people that actually won the gold medals and the silver and the bronze.
I didn't watch all that, but you know what we just seen was hideous. And I mean, you guys at home, go back to when you was a kid, a 12-year-old, and or an 8-year-old,
5-year-old.
Yeah, I mean, how many times now? Weston Harris, we're having some connection issues with Weston. Hopefully, we can get it figured out. But how many times do you remember doing that as a kid in the floor? Like, you know, Mom, watch this, and spinning around on your back. And, you know, that's exactly what that was. It was like breakdancing 101.
You remember the movie You Got Served or Stomp
Yeah.
the Yard? Like, if they'd have had some people from those movies.
Yeah, it was awful what we had to go through.
We need Chris Brown to be in the next breakdance.
No. Now, the Olympics ended, JJ, with America on top like we should be. 126 total medals. 40 gold medals tied China for gold. We won the most silver and won the most bronze. You know, and the U.S. took the lead right at the end. Now, there's a chance we'll talk about that in a second, but 40 gold medals. Are you proud of your nation?
Absolutely. I mean, they got the most gold medals. I mean, they tie with China. You know, I said a couple of days ago that the gold was the most important, but you know what? I mean, even if you get a silver or a bronze, that means you're the second best in the world at what you do out of all the people that competed. So, I mean, that's something to be proud of as well.
No. We should have won. We shouldn't have tied. We should have won. But I am proud of the people that went and you know, that competed, because at the end of the day, they represented their country. And you know, I'm tickled to death because These are people, when you look at the great stories, look how many Kentuckians. I think we ended up, there was like 6 Kentuckians that won gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
really insane.
Yeah. And just the state that we live in, I mean, and how big the poverty is and just how small it is in general, just to have that many people to do that.
We had Lee Kiefers. We had all the USA basketball team. We had Sidney McLaughlin.
Which one was the fencing?
That was Lee Kiefers. Lee Kiefers from Lexington.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was just a great showing all around.
Yeah,
I was tickled to death for the way they did. Now, I don't know, JJ, if you got to see, but did you see Jordan Childs? Did you see they stripped her from her bronze medal and are demanding that she give it back? And it ended up, it's a very controversial. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see it, JJ, but did you get a chance to read on it?
I got to read a little bit on it. Apparently, some kind of way that they did the score was there was some kind of technical error.
Yep.
And because of that technical error, they ended up wanting to strip her of her medal.
She's going to have to give it back, and you hate to see that. Yeah. Well, the thing is she got the bronze, not gold. She got the bronze medal on a technicality. I think the girl from Romania initially won it, and they ended up going back. Well, Jordan Childs got it, and now they're overturning that, and she's going to have to return it. But that's heartbreaking for that young lady because she thought she won a medal, and now she's going to have to give it back.
Well, she'll be even more motivated come next Olympics, and I think she'll get it done next time.
Jimmy Johnson says also the University of Kentucky former and current athletes won 13 medals, 9 gold, which was more medals than 75 countries. Wow. That's huge. And that's what I was talking about. I'm glad you mentioned that, Jimmy. The University of Kentucky representing, and, I think like throughout history, if I'm not mistaken, Florida is the only other school that's put out more Olympian that's won medals.
Really?
Yeah, than the University of Kentucky. So shout out to them. Now, let's go back to the story here. As many of you know here, I am not a LeBron fan. And the way that he carried himself in Paris did not make me even more of a fan. Check this out.
Make space, guys, for King. Make space. Congratulations.
And you can't really see the video there because it's not wide enough, but basically the LeBron kid come up asking for an autograph, and he just shoved the kid away, and he told him, he said, give me my space. And kind of scolded him when he told him that, and then he moves on to, as he enters, I guess it was a nightclub or something he was going to do, he decides to dance. You just scolded a kid, but then you're going to dance for the adults. I become every day less and less fan of LeBron. And not only this situation here, I seen some video coming out, and, it's allegedly that LeBron might partake in some marijuana smoking in his downtime. And then I seen a video of him and his wife sitting in a booth, and his wife taking a hit of a big doobie, and he tells her, put that down, cameras are on us. And she puts it down. It's clear what was going on. And then there was a video come out where you could tell like there was a few of the Olympic team maybe had partaked in something that they shouldn't have. Mm-hmm. And so I don't know. And listen, I don't see anything bad with that. At the end of the day, I'm a huge supporter. Listen, I think marijuana, I don't partake in it, but at the end of the day, it's grown from the earth. I think there's nothing wrong with it. It cures a lot of stuff. But, I'm just saying, if you're going to do stuff like that, don't treat kids and other people the way that he does. You know, he treats himself like he's above other people. Now, he does a lot of great things. Don't get me wrong. Like when he started that high school for underprivileged kids. Yeah. You know, there's a lot of stuff about LeBron I do like off the court, but stuff like that really eats at me.
I would say the only thing about the school that you said you started, did you hear about whenever they did some sort of statistic where like all the kids for like 3 years didn't pass a math test, or everybody failed math or something like that? Did you hear about that? I might have to pull that up and show it to you, but yeah, like there was a little bit of controversy with that school as well.
Oh, we'll save that for tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be sure to do some homework, and that way you can have more of an insight on it.
But I mean, honestly, you talk about that stuff. How in the world? It just frustrates me, man. You know, I hate to see it. You know, I hate to see things like that when it comes to LeBron. And I know a lot of people are going to get on me. They're like, leave Bron alone, you know. But listen, that man's a millionaire. He don't need anybody to take up for him. Guys, we got a lot of stuff coming from the mountains, and that's what everybody wants to talk about is the stuff from the mountains. And then we also got a dentist that might be in some trouble, and his name ain't Michael McKinney. So, guys, you need to come right back and join us here on the Startup Morning Show. JJ Pruitt and Darryl McCoy. Winning tire shop that focuses on customer service that's family owned and family operated. Stop by and see our friends Jeremy and Chasta at Punk's Tires. If you have a hectic work schedule and you're looking for a non-stressful, convenient way to buy tires, take advantage of Punk's Tires appointment Saturdays. If they don't have the tire you're looking for, they guarantee it to have it the next day. Punk's Tires can take care of all your needs in tires, wheels, wheel alignments, brakes, rotors, minor mechanic work, and more. They'll treat you like family from the second you walk through the door. Come see us in Virgie, Kentucky, or give us a call at 606-639-TIRE. That's 606-639-TIRE.
Central America, head to Sal's Steakhouse. Sizzle your senses with mouthwatering steaks, juicy burgers, savory chicken, and fall-off-the-bone ribs. Sal's Steakhouse, where your taste buds will thank you. Unleash the flavor at Sal's. Taste tradition, taste the difference.
And we are back here on the Startup Morning Show. JJ Pruitt and Darryl McCoy here, guys. If you would like to call us here on the Startup Morning Show, make sure you call us on the Double Quick Hotline at 606-230-8911. That's 606-230-8911. If you got anything you want to talk about or anything you want to add to the show, give us a call. JJ, as we move on, let's talk some local. A lot of kids over the last couple of weeks, it's that session of the year whenever kids start going to college camps. And a lot of kids have been going to college camps and showing out. You know, let's take a look at Parker Davis and Peyton, or Parker Watts and Peyton Davis out of Martin County, some of their highlights from the CU Harrodsburg camp. I mean, listen, Martin County fans, get pumped, because I promise you, these two, offense, defense, you got a star on each side of the ball. It's going to be a fun year to be a Cardinal, JJ.
Unbelievable athlete. Both of them.
I can't wait. Parker Watts. It's been a long time since the Mountains have seen a kid like Parker Watts. This kid is the second coming of Todd Tackett. If there's a ball coming off the rim, he's going to slam it back.
I've never seen a kid from this area that could do that.
No,
that was actually from here. I mean, I've seen some kids that have transferred here from other states that were athletic like that, but as far as like a pure born athlete that could windmill like that, and just get up there like that, I've never seen anybody that can do that.
Yeah, I don't. And it's crazy because if you watch the kid, he's always waiting. When he don't have the ball, he's waiting to see where the ball's coming off because he's wanting that putback slam. Yeah. Kid's insane athletically, Mr. Elevator Man, unbelievable. And then Peyton Davis, listen, he's shooting the 3 ball as well as anybody. He's the reigning Latham Hall Award winner. Kid is special. And then you add Devin Maynard, Bryson Dawes, Braxton. I always want to say Maynard, but having a
Braxton.
I cannot remember his name, and I apologize. I know him, or not Braxton, Braden Eastep.
Braden Eastep,
yeah. And Braden Eastep, and then you got the little sharpshooter. Trying to think of his name.
Point guard.
Yeah, Eli Mills.
Yeah.
You got Eli Mills. So Martin County is going to be fun to watch. And then Alan Moore down low as the backup big. A lot of people's going to be surprised with the way he plays too.
So where did you say that you had them ranked as far as like in the region? Like
Martin County?
Yeah.
1.
Number 1?
1.
So they
are the one. They are the team to beat. The clear team to beat, JJ.
Well, I wasn't sure if there was another team.
No. Martin County is 1.
Number 1. I got you.
Nobody else. Martin County is at that top spot. Nobody else. Nobody else has a chance to be at the top spot preseason besides Martin County. Martin County is the team to beat.
I can't wait to watch them.
Now they weren't the only ones showing out. Check out Belfry's Jackson Estridge.
Jesus. Wow.
Kid, Belfry fans, Pond Creek, it's going to be a long time since Belfry's seen a team like this that they can get behind. A lot of people, now Sal Dean, DeMar Clark, that was going to be a fun season. They had so much off-the-court stuff going on that was a headache a lot of times. This team is a bunch of homegrown Belfry boys. Brody Little, Zaid Rash, Carter Jude, Ian Loomis, the Hagee boy, is it Braden Hagee?
Is he kin to Coach Hagee?
Yeah, it's his son.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's actually got 2 sons.
Wow.
I'm not sure one of them's going to play basketball, but the one that does play is pretty good. And then you got coming in football, hopefully JB Woolen, Dante Davis, and hopefully Chase Varney plays. But this Belfry team has a chance to be really good. And Jackson Estridge there, as you've seen, one of the most complete players in the region, if not the most complete 2025 kid in the region.
He's got really good handles, a smooth jump shot. He's got really good court vision. Will lock up your best defender. I mean, it's tough to find a player that's more complete than him.
Well, as you're sitting here, you move on with Estridge, and then they wasn't the only ones. That camp, that CU Harrodsburg camp, was an outstanding camp, and I tell you, Coach Sparrow done a great job getting a lot of the best mountain kids there. We'll sit here. You see him there from left to right: Cameron Pente, Carter Parsons, Jackson Estridge, Peyton Davis, Jaden Stewart, Parker Watts, those are 6 dogs, and then you also had I think Dalton Combs was there and Trayton Woods from Hazard and Perry Central. So yeah,
a lot of talent,
a lot of mountain talent there. And Coach Sparrow does a great job recruiting the best of the mountains, so a great camp there. And then you move on to Asbury. The thing that stood out to me about the Asbury camp is you could tell there was 4 kids there from the 15th region, from the 14th and 15th regions, 4 kids. Every kid was hungry. They was there to try to compete and earn a scholarship. And it started from the second the camp started. Look at this. You see there, Carter Parsons, Jaden Stewart, Jackson Estridge, and Dalton Combs sitting mid-court. Everybody else sitting around the logo. Them 4 sitting right on the logo where the coaches could see them. And you see them right there. Like they was hanging on to the coaches' every word. And I don't think I got the picture of them, but every time, as soon as the drill started, they was the first in line for the drills. It was just a great showing by them, and it made you smile seeing like, okay, these guys are going out and trying to prove themselves.
Absolutely, trying to consume as much knowledge as they possibly can, and get that exposure.
Yeah, well, and when you go to these camps, you want to stand out to the coaches, and that's what they was doing. They was making sure the coaches knew they was there, knew that they was listening, engaged, and not only was they in the front of every line, even when it started the exercises, the drills, they wasn't just in front line. They was even in exercise portion. They was finishing, making sure they finished first. Letting the coaches know, like, we're built different in the mountains.
Absolutely.
Now, here's some of Estridge's highlights from that camp.
1, 2, 3. Let's get started.
Real good.
You've got to get a hold of yourself.
The kid in every single camp he's went to, he's led his team in assists, steals, rebounds, and majority of the time points.
Stuff in the stats.
I'm telling you, the kid, his endurance is hard to get over. Like he doesn't get tired.
No.
And the way that he stays active on every end, just very impressive. That kid, I think soon Pandora's box is going to open. When that first offer falls for him, I think you're going to see 6 or 7 more, because right now I think everybody's waiting like, is this kid for real? Like, because there's not a lot of tape on him, like the thing is he started half the year last year. The first half of the year was averaging like 14.5 points a game and was the second best player on his team. And then some stuff happened, and his starting spot got took, and so the next half of the year his minutes got cut, so you didn't get to see the true Estridge the whole year. And then this summer he was on such a loaded team, he was the dirty work guy, so people, I think they're having a hard time realizing like this kid may be one of the best offensive players in the region too.
Trying to figure him out.
Yeah. So as we're moving on though, just great camps. I think this week coming up for the kids that's interested, Kentucky Christian has a camp. You want to make sure you get to that. That's going to be a huge deal. JJ, we got a lot of kids transferring here last minute, and we're going to talk about that as soon as we come back. We'll be right back here on the Startup Morning Show with JJ Pruitt and Darryl McCoy.
Wear a lot of hats. They're coaches, volunteers, church members, neighbors, someone who's there when you need them, especially when you need them most. That may be a lot of hats, but they're all the perfect fit. Kentucky Farm Bureau, big on commitment.
Pass, bring them to Hall & Jones Funeral Home in Virgie, Kentucky. We let you grieve in peace instead of worrying about a heavy financial burden of burying a loved one. Here at Hall & Jones, we have multiple chapels that can accommodate any size family. We look forward to helping you and your family here at Hall & Jones. We're back here on the Startup Morning Show. JJ Pruitt, Darryl McCoy, the Little Dipper himself, as we are sitting here. JJ, we got a lot of comments coming in. Jimmy Johnson says, great video, but got to change some of them tracks. Well, Jimmy, you got to take the generic tracks, because if you don't, then Facebook will get you. So
every time.
As we say in the mountains, it's not get you, it's get you. They'll get you. That's what my grandma always said, get you. So that's what I say. Jimmy Johnson says, under the policy, NBA teams may refer NBA players suspected of having marijuana-related dependency issues to medical director for a mandatory evaluation, but league officials will no longer drug test players for past cannabis exposure past July 6, 2023. So, I get it. These players, they go through a lot. Their bodies take a lot. So I get it, if they want to, smoke a doobie every now and then. But listen, if you're going to do stuff like that, don't treat kids and fans the way that you treat. That's the way I feel about it. Jimmy Johnson says, I know copyright infringement. Yeah, that's the tough part about tracks. But, as Carl Whitey Little says, Jackson has to be the most improved player in the mountains. I think Jackson's been the most improved player the last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Like his sophomore year, he felt he got slept on, and he was on a team full of seniors, and I understood the coach's decision not to play him that year as much as they did, because, he was a really good rebounder. He was probably a better option than probably 2 or 3 of the kids that they had, but I understand they were seniors. He was sophomore, bide your time. Last year, I don't see any way in the world, and he used that at the beginning of that sophomore season. He told the coach at the end of that year, he said, I'm going to go to work starting tomorrow. He said, and whenever I come back next year, he said, you're going to look at me and you're going to say, that's the kid I wouldn't play last year. Well, he did every single day, 2-a-days. Him and Braxton Keithley was in the gym, and was the most improved player last year, I think, by far. And then this year, I think the same kind of climb. Like every year, the kid continues to get better. Relentless worker. Every day he's in the gym. That he has no social life. His life is basketball. By the way, Motivation Monday, giving away $50 code hard cash to one of you lucky viewers today. Make sure you guys comment a number in the comment section. And at the end of the show, we will spin a wheel. Somebody will win $50 code hard cash. JJ Pruitt and Darryl McCoy here. We're giving away $50 courtesy of our friends at Punk's Tires.
So far, we've got 7 in the comment section. So
there we go.
It'll be exciting to see who wins.
Listen, if you're watching, share the show and comment a number in the comment section. and you'll have a chance to win. Only 7 people, so you got a great chance to win $50 here. So as we move on, JJ, Jake Sloan will be leaving Pike Central, transferring from Pike Central to Wesley Christian. And last year he had averaged 8 points, 3 rebounds a game on a loaded team with Rigdon and Stewart. Was set to be that second scorer for Pike Central this year, but a week ago transferred to Wesley Christian. Will be reclassifying into the 2026 class.
Oh, wow.
So going from a senior to a junior, I have mixed emotions about this. Jake, as you know, Jake is one of the athletes I'm the closest to. He's my son's best friend. He, plays on my AAU team, and I know what Jake's capable of. And he don't always show it. I think he wanted the chance and the opportunity to get to show what he can do. I hate that he left because at the end of the day, prep school ball is special because you're playing against the best of the best in the country. Mm-hmm. But to me, the memories that because basketball is going to stop bouncing someday, and the memories that you make in high school, unless you're a Division I talent, I don't understand going to prep school. And, credit, he may be able to get to that level. He might think that he can get there. So I understand taking that chance and believing in yourself. But I just, I hate the only thing about these prep school ball games is you go and you're playing in front of 12 people. That's the tough part. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough for me. I wish he would have stayed at Pike Central so we would have got to cover him night in, night out. Mm-hmm. But no matter what, Jake's a special ball player, and he's going to do big things. So shout out to Jake. Hope things work out there at Wesley Christian as he reclassifies into 2026. We'll be teaming up with Saki Sefa. So, yep. So got a lot of people continuing to enter for the $50 reward. Guys, more news coming out of the mountain. Breaking news. Ethan Lance, Floyd Central big, 2026 center power forward. Ethan Lance has told D&D Sports Network he is transferred from Floyd Central to Betsy Lane and was ruled eligible by the KHSAA on Friday.
That is awesome. Congratulations, too. I mean, I know that sometimes it can be difficult to go through the eligibility process.
Yeah, it is, and that's a headache, because you don't ever want to lose a season, so hats off to Ethan. At the end of the day, I wish he would have stayed at Floyd Central because that Floyd Central group with him, Chris Briggs, Dylan Boyd, Logan Mead, and I forget one, Grant Jenkins. They won, I think it was like 3 back-to-back county titles. Mm-hmm. And you hate to see him separate. But, at the end of the day, I think Ethan felt that he should be used in a different way than he was being used. Mm-hmm. And I think, he's going to go to where he thinks he can get the most playing time. And, listen, not everything has to be messy, I'm sure Floyd Central probably wishes him the best and, moves on. But hopefully the kid has a great career, and I think he's a good fit because he solidifies a really good front line there at Betsy Lane with Gavin Combs and Ethan Hammond. So now you got a 3-headed monster there to go with great guard play with Carter Parsons, Cam Pente, and Isaiah Allen.
Yeah, that's a heck of a duo.
Yep.
I definitely can't wait to see it play.
Well, it's 3, so it's a trio.
Trio.
Yeah, it's a trio, JJ. So, guys, as we move on, Pikeville Golf at it again.
Man, every day we get a Pikeville Golf news.
I've told you, JJ.
Man, these kids are unbelievable.
Cam Roberts is elite. This kid will be on the PGA one day. So if you want his autograph, get it now because it's going to be worth something someday.
Well, I'm going to go to Vegas and I'm going to place a bet on him to win a major.
Do it because you're going to win some money. Cam Roberts and Pikeville won the PIT, which is the Pikeville Invitational. Cam Roberts shot a 69, a 3-under.
I believe the last time you reported him, he shot a 66. So, I mean, he's phenomenal.
This kid's unbelievable. Yeah. One of my favorite players in the mountains. Big news coming for the Belfry football. Belfry football, for you guys that don't know, I'll give you, I've been rough on Belfry football over the past. I'm like, I always thought Belfry football should do more because they are the mecca. When it comes to mountain football, Belfry football is the mecca of mountain football. They got 8 state titles. At the end of the day, when you take and look, but the thing is they've had a lot of players go through to play college football, but in the past, they didn't have a lot. And, a lot of it was exposure. And, here in the last calendar year, I've seen Belfry make so many great moves to make sure, they're making sure that they promote their athletes in the best way possible. And, I'm super excited to see this news about BelfryFootball.com.
They have a website now? Oh, wow.
It is a website. And, JJ, it's a state-of-the-art website here in the mountains. I mean, this is helping put them ahead of the curve because – this website, and we'll get a look at it here in a second, but you can get everything from the player's bench, their height, their weight, their GPA, and it's not just recruiters that this is tending to. This is helping media too, because you can get their highlights. You can get pictures. I mean, check this out. This is a player card from BelfryFootball.com. See, wow. JJ, and it's got your stats, it's got your offers. I mean, anything you need to know about this player, it's got.
I love how it mentions their ACT scores, so it shows academically where they're at. It shows their broad jump, their bench. I mean, that is even the offers that they have. I mean, that is. If they keep that website up to date every single day, that is going to be a game changer for other schools, and I can imagine a lot of other schools are going to be following the exact same formula.
It 100% is. I am best for the football players at Pond Creek. I'm tickled for Coach Haywood. Just so happy that this is going on there. It's something that they've needed for a long time. And when a lot of people always thought Belfry was in, they lived in the past when it comes to stuff like this. Well, now they're getting ahead and they're being trailblazers in this, with this website. I know they got media classes. I think they're going to work closely with some media, allow media to start coming in. And, it just, Bo Hager is starting things off in the right way there. Absolutely. As principal. And I'm tickled to death for these kids. I promise you a lot of opportunities will come from this, and it'll make it a lot easier for media to promote their athletes and for recruiters to recruit them.
It's going to be better for the entire area as a whole, like all the schools.
Well, hopefully more follow suit and get in on this. As we move on here, Jimmy Johnson's got some breaking news of himself. He says 4-star Kentucky edge commit Cedric Works transfers to Frederick Douglass in Lexington. Now, where'd he come from, Jimmy? Let us know. Now, as we move on, JJ, Cam Mercer, as you folks know, D&D Sports Network was the #1 media outlet for Huntington Prep this past season. We got to cover the #1 player in the nation, which was Darren Peterson. Now, Killer Cam Mercer is a Cincinnati native. The #1 ranked kid in the 2028 class transfers from Cincinnati. He was set to go to Winston Woods High School in Cincinnati, but he transfers to Huntington Prep and will join that star-studded class. I am stoked to see this. This kid is unanimous number one player in the 2028 class, and
nation?
now he's going to be playing for Arkell Bruce.
And he's number one in the nation?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So
I'm really excited. And we get to cover him, too?
We get to cover him.
That is so cool.
I'm excited because tomorrow we'll have Coach Arkell Bruce on to talk about this.
Oh, yeah.
Huntington Prep head coach. And we also going to have Prestonsburg head coach Wes Hager on tomorrow.
So we get 2 coaches tomorrow?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
And, we've talked about the Olympics, but one thing we did not mention, Sydney McLaughlin. Sydney McLaughlin ended up winning the 400 and the 100 hurdles. And she won the 400 with a time of 52.33.
That had to be a record.
Yeah. Let me make that. She was the only girl to ever get a time of under 53. And then she broke her own record in it with a 50-37, JJ. Now, the pictures look at the pictures. There was pictures where this girl was so far ahead that the camera couldn't even get the competitors, that she was so far ahead of the competition. She ended up taking her time in the 400 hurdles was faster than 9 of the country's times in the 400 straight out with no hurdles.
So she's the only girl to ever run a 53, and she ran a 50?
She ran a 50. Yep.
So she beat her own record by 3 seconds.
She broke her own record by 3 seconds.
See, and we talk about how Usain Bolt ran a 9.58 and the other people are running a 9.8 and how much of a difference that is. That's tenths of a second. These are seconds that we're talking.
Yeah.
That is unbelievable.
Sydney McLaughlin is elite, JJ. And, to say that she's from Kentucky is makes me very prideful. I'm tickled to death to have her as saying that she's representing the great Bluegrass State.
You know what's interesting is we talk all the time about the evolution of sports and people breaking records and records being made to be broken and things like that. When somebody does come along and breaks her record one of these days, we're going to wonder, like, well, she didn't have any competition.
It ain't happening.
Yeah,
it ain't happening. Nobody's going to break that record.
I don't think we'll live to see it.
Well, as we move on, let's talk football Friday night. A lot of news coming out of the mountains. If you got word, I didn't get to watch Pikeville. I don't know how they done, but I know Brendan Anthony is a freak. And we're going to have Corey Hayes on Friday to talk about these kids. But check out Prestonsburg, man. Wes Hager starting off on the right foot. Dalton Elliott ran a 4.4. We had Dalton Elliott on the show earlier this summer from Prestonsburg. And then his teammate, Alex Harris, runs a 4.5. They're both teammates on the 4x100 at Prestonsburg.
It's going to be a tough
game. Yeah, and whenever you're sitting here, look at their play from Friday night on the football field.
Don't worry.
I can tell you what, Wes Hager is going to be running belly dive a lot because he scored 4 times on Friday night. It was I guess they was Johnson Central, maybe East Carter and Powell County all got together for a rendezvous. And that Prestonsburg backfield has got speed, maybe the fastest backfield in the mountains.
They're going to be tough to catch.
Yeah. Now, words coming out of Belfry is that they they didn't keep score, but they said if score was kept, it would have been a running clock on Raceland. And that's huge because Raceland is normally a power in single A. Mm-hmm. But that Belfry backfield, you talk about the speed at Prestonsburg, then you go over to Belfry, they got Ace Cottle, J.B. Woolham, Tristan Chapman, who might be the surprise of the year. You guys don't know Tristan Chapman's name right now, but I promise you, give him a couple weeks, he's going to be a household name. Kid is a freak. And I've seen a lot of schools have a great show in this Friday night. Betsy Lane showed up and had a big game. And Weston Harris, he had some connection issues. Hopefully we can get him on later in the week because I really want to talk to Weston.
Absolutely.
He's a Betsy Lane Bobcat. Let's see. Jimmy Johnson says Pikeville score 6 to 7 TDs before Lightning cut the scrimmage and a little short. They held Breathitt County to 0 TDs. Pikeville is even better than last season. Breathitt County also is better than – yeah, I figured Breathitt County would be better than they was last season because they got a couple new pieces, and I'm really excited to see what they do up there on the they call them the River Bend Boys. But Pikeville, this team, man, you got Isaac Duty return. You got Brendan Anthony. I mean, they got speed. They got talent. They got line. They got – no hose. This Pikeville team, in my mind, is your single A champs again.
And will this be, 5 years in a row?
4.
Jesus.
It's be their 4th in a row.
That is insane.
Pikeville is a dynasty.
Yeah.
You know, the last team to go 4 in a row was Belfry, 2016 to 2020 with Austin Dodson, Cole Bentley, and crew.
But prior to that, I would imagine 4 in a row is unheard of. So I mean,
no, it's happened.
I mean, but throughout history, I would imagine there hasn't been many teams to do it. So that has to be a special.
Yeah. Oh, it's very special. Yeah. But there's, I think in 6A, there might have been times that maybe St. X or Trinity might have run, that many off. And then I know there for a long time, Belfry and Central, Belfry never won 4 in a row besides that time. But I think Central might have. Somebody let me know if that's true.
Central?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They said that is going to be 7 to 10 in a row. They're going to win 7 to 10 in a row, Jimmy Johnson says. That would be tough to win that. Just odd say that that's probably not going to happen, but talent says it might, Jimmy. So you might be on to something there. Also, Noah Kilburn was ruled eligible by the KHSAA. For you guys that don't know Noah Kilburn, I think he's top 2 wide receiver. In my mind, he might be the best wide receiver in the mountains. Played for Perry Central last year. Him and Kaiser Sloan was the duo there. Now he transfers to Leslie County and will hook up with Landry Collette, who we had on the show, Leslie County quarterback, and what I think might be the most dangerous duo in the mountains when it comes quarterback-receiver duo. Yeah. So congratulations to him. JJ, I'm sitting here, make sure I get all the mountain news out of the way. Also, Sue Bob White arrested.
No.
Yes, Sue Bob got arrested for possession of, allegedly possessing, I think there was meth, what do they call it, fentanyl, meth, and a couple others. I hate that for Sue Bob because I was hoping Sue Bob got on track. Yeah. Me and JJ ran into her a week and a half ago at the pharmacy, and she said she literally just got out, and her first stop was the pharmacy. So that tells you, she might have been going down the wrong path. But Sue Bob, she was arrested for allegedly, I guess, harming an animal or something, and then she gets arrested a week later. Listen, come on, Sue Bob. We understand. And that's got to be hard, JJ. If you're the Wild and Wonderful Whites and you're known for living this kind of a lifestyle, and that's what your notoriety is for. When we seen her, what'd she say? She said, for $5, I'll give you a shout out, a autograph, a picture. And that's how she makes her money. When you're known for this lifestyle, how hard is it for people like that to get out of that lifestyle and get back to a normal life? I mean, you hate it because you know where this road ends.
Yeah, absolutely. And how does because she's somewhat locally famous.
Yeah.
So, I mean, does she feel the need to continue to act that way? I mean, I'm not sure, but prayers for Sue Bob. Actually, absolutely. I mean, I hate to see people go through that dark period or go through those things, and I really hope that she's able to turn it around.
Yeah, I hate it because that's what she's known for. So she's always like, it's tough. I was in addiction, and I spent 17 years in addiction, and I know how hard it is, especially when you're known for that. And my heart goes out to her because I know that she's probably trapped and there's probably no way out. But I wish some rehab or something would reach out and say, listen, we're going to we want you the face of our rehab, because if we can change you, we can change a lot of lives.
Absolutely. Be very inspiring to other people.
And if you can do that and change people's lives, Sue Bob is the one person that people could say, well, Sue Bob got right.
Yeah.
So if you're a rehab, use her as your face of your rehab. Set her up, get her in a job program, and give her a life that she never thought was possible. Absolutely. And maybe not just her life, but she will change her family lives, and also not her family's lives, but she would also help change a lot of people's lives here in the mountains because they would see their hope.
Absolutely.
So
there's so many people out there that's struggling with addiction, and it's just heartbreaking.
Yep. So let's see. Last thing I want to talk about today, JJ, is Kanye West. And JJ keeps giving me the wheel like I'm gonna forget. JJ, he keeps you guys can see him over here. He keeps turning it like reminding me.
I'm excited. I'm ready to. I'm ready to give this $50 away.
Well, we're going to, but we got one more topic we got to talk about. Now, don't know if you know this feller here, Milo Yiannopoulos.
I have no.
All right.
Looks like an evil villain from
Milo Yiannopoulos. This guy is the director of he's the head director of the Yeezy brand. Now, for you guys that don't know and not familiar with the Yeezy brand, that is Kanye West's brand. Well, a nasty breakup caused him to be a disgruntled employee. So he ended up, he was the chief of staff for the Yeezy brand, and he ended up, he sends out allegations that Kanye West's dentist, Thomas Conley, who is known as being the dentist for the stars. He does like Post Malone, a lot of big names. You see Kanye, he's got you name the stars, he's got them. This dude is the best dentist, and you can see he don't look like your average dentist. He's a muscled up, tattooed up guy that, that's how he, and it's not just dental work he does. He does a lot of the grills. They call him the diamond dentist. So this guy, Thomas Conley, he alleges, Milo alleges that Thomas Conley has been providing Kanye West with nitrous oxide, which is laughing gas. Said that I guess he had surgery a few months ago, and he got addicted to laughing gas. And so Kanye West has been going, and they're saying it's really a sad story because they're saying it's caused brain damage, and said he's not just using it now, he's using it for recreational use. This guy, he does Jay-Z, Post Malone, he's got all the stars, but Kanye West is allegedly using this recreational now, and they said that even his staff members have seen him. Said he come to work one day and on a Zoom meeting, and said he had a mask on with a hose going and with nitrous oxide going to it, and said that's all he wants to talk about is nitrous oxide when he sees people that works for him, and said that it's overtook his life. And this guy, $50,000 a month he's been making off Kanye West for laughing gas, $200,000 in 2 months, they said, or $50,000 a month, 4 months, $200,000 he's made off Kanye West is what's alleged by Milo. It's hard to decipher here. Is it a chief of staff and a friend that really cares about Kanye, or is it a disgruntled employee?
I mean, it sounds more like disgruntled to me. I mean, I could be wrong, but it just sounds like they're trying to stir up some stuff. But it's a disturbing story regardless. I mean,
well, here's my thing. It said that numerous staff members at Yeezy brand seen Kanye and can testify to this. Mm-hmm. So that's what makes me not think it's a disgruntled employee.
I mean, hopefully he gets help at the end of the day. I mean, that's
and it makes sense because if you listen to Kanye, you can tell something's not right there. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
So I hate it for Kanye, but and it brings up now a lot of people are comparing this to Michael Jackson.
The propofol.
Yeah, and Michael Jackson done it because he had insomnia, mm-hmm. and couldn't sleep, so that's why Michael Jackson done it. But Kanye's using it for recreational use. so it's a little different, but that's what people are saying, and they're just hoping that the same ending don't happen that happened with MJ.
And it's disturbing because, the last time I got a tooth pulled, they gave me the propofol stuff as well, and I'll tell you, I've got the best sleep that I've ever gotten in my life whenever they give me that stuff. So it doesn't surprise me that somebody could get, hooked on it, because you get to sleep within they say count down to 10, and by the time you get to 7, you're out cold.
He said that's Donald Trump's stepson. Who is?
I think he was trolling.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jimmy Johnson says Kanye ain't never been right, but I hope he gets the help he needs. I agree, Jimmy. Real quick, guys, we're running short on time. Philip Haywood named top 10 winningest active coaches. As you see, Philip Haywood, number 5 on the list with 479 wins. Now, I don't think Haywood will ever take over number 1, as John Curtis has 623. But when you sit here and look at the rest, 514 may be unlikely, but it's possible. I could see him getting to 3 on this list before it's over with.
So these wins, are these regular season and postseason, or are these just regular season wins?
No, they're all-time wins.
Okay, so if there's 10 games a season, and he wins, 9 out of 10?
I think,
is number 2 still active?
Yeah, they're all active.
They're all still active, okay.
So if Haywood could win 12 games a year,
I don't know if he can get there.
That's a lot. 12's a lot.
Because it comes down to whether or not some of these coaches are going to retire at some point.
Yeah.
Because they're going to win probably 6 or 7 games as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, But, I hope that I would love to see him, get to number 2 on that list. But, at the end of the day, there's a big gap between 2 and 1, and I don't think 1's achievable.
I think that he could stay in the top 10 for the foreseeable future.
Oh yeah, I think he'll always be top 10. I don't know. The big thing I think right now for Coach Haywood is getting to 500.
Mm-hmm.
You get that 500 win, that puts you in elite company. So, I hope he gets there very soon.
3 years, maybe tops, 2.5.
I'll say he's going to do it in 2 years.
Well, okay, so
that's 21. He's going to get a 10 win and an 11 win season.
Coach Haywood.
Yeah, he's doing it.
That you can get it done.
He's doing it. Absolutely. He's got this. Okay, JJ. Trent Noah signed by Double Quick. Trent Noah, August the 19th and August the 20th will be doing autograph signings from 4:30 to 6 p.m. at Double Quicks. August 19th, he will be at the one in Pine Mountain. And August 20th, he will be at the one in Coal Run. So make sure that you guys Pikeville Double Quick. So make sure you guys get out, support Trent Noah. He is a Kentucky Wildcat, the Harlan Black Bear. Ended up playing in the Sweet 16, lost to Travis Perry, but he'll be playing at Rupp Arena this year. You can get his autograph, talk to him. An amazing young man, guys. I promise you won't regret going out, supporting this kid and talking to him. One of my favorite athletes that I've met. Him and Travis Perry are 2 of the best to represent the state of Kentucky at the University of Kentucky.
I can't wait to see him play.
All right, JJ, it's that time. Time to win some money. Let's spin the wheel and see who walks away.
So we do have a wheel. I don't know if anybody can see it.
$50 code hard cash courtesy of Punk's Tires, and you can't see it. Glares off that, JJ. Let's get the people
Oh, there we go.
The wheel.
Oh yeah, they can see it now. That's perfect.
There's the wheel. So
here we go. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 8 contestants.
Now,
we wish everybody the
make sure. Did you get the latest ones on there? Jimmy Johnson, number 42.
Yes, sir.
Let's see. There was somebody else I seen more ago.
I've got
Corey Mullins.
I've got Corey. I've got Jimmy. I've got Sam. I've got Matt. I've got Mike. I've got Suzanne, I've got Dennis, and I've got Carl.
Well, I think you might, as I'm sitting here going through, I think you might have it, JJ. So let's spin the wheel.
Drum roll, please. Here we go. And we want to congratulate Dennis.
Dennis who?
I'm not sure.
I did not see Dennis.
Yeah, there's a Dennis.
I'm sure there is a Dennis,
Yeah.
but I don't know who he is right off.
Dennis, if you're still in the comment section,
Dennis
sure.
Lafferty.
Yeah.
Okay. Dennis Lafferty. That is Crayson Lafferty's father.
Oh,
so
really?
yeah, so Dennis, make sure you get up with me so we can get the $50 code hard cash to you, courtesy of our friends at Punk's Tires. Guys, we want to thank you guys each and every day. As you never know at Startup Morning Show, whether you come on, you're going to win $50, or, you know, whether you're going to win gas cards, food, you know, we give away stuff all the time, courtesy of our great sponsors. We hope you guys are spreading the word about the Startup Morning Show, because we're really trying. Right now, we're in a tough situation because we're trying to figure out, do we continue the morning show throughout football season, or do we bring JJ over to Crunch Time and do the Crunch Time show one day a week on Thursdays? We're going to do Crunch Time no matter what, but do we keep the morning show, or do we focus more on Crunch Time? You guys, if you guys spread the word, spread the love, that's what will decide that, you know. And right now, the critics are ranting and raving. We've seen a lot of people say they love the show because they say it's informative, it's full of laughs, and said at the end of the day, said it's a great way to start your morning. So, guys, we hope you are enjoying the show as much as we're enjoying sharing our mornings with you. So make sure you keep spreading the word and sharing it so we can get some sponsors and make sure that we're able to keep this on the air. But, guys, again, we'll see you tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. JJ Pruitt, Darryl McCoy. Guys, till next time, good day.